So this is my latest Raspberry Pi mouse cam, and this is the festive Christmas special. So first of all, you'll see this is not a Raspberry Pi, this is a Arduino Nano, and that's taken an input from a passive infrared sensor. Once that's tripped, it will then check via a digital output from the Raspberry Pi that it's ready and waiting. If it detects it's ready, it will then send another signal telling the Raspberry Pi to start recording. The Nano will then wait 5 seconds. After 5 seconds it will turn on the infrared light source. Then after a further 30 seconds it will then turn on the lights around the seed pot. It'll do that for a few seconds, and then it will then wait for the Raspberry Pi via a digital output to tell it to stop, i.e. it's finished recording. You can then wait for the next input. All of this is displayed on a little screen here, as you can see, and that just helps us with debugging. I've got a little wireless keyboard which again I can turn off, and we've then got a LiPo battery here which via the relays on the Arduino board here turn on the infrared lights. So we're just going to let this run for a few evenings and see if it works. Okay, so this is the first night and I'm narrating again, and here's our little mouse. I was quite pleased that this worked straight away, and I think it just proves that this method with the passive infrared sensor works so much better than the ultrasonics that are used in the first one. The key difference is that the ultrasonic worked when the mouse broke the beam, but once the mouse was in the area you could stay there as long as you wanted and the camera would only be set off once. Here the mouse sets off the camera, and if he's still in the area when it's timed out, it'll start recording again. Anyway, you can see the mouse. He's having a good look around. I think the tinsel's confused him slightly, and this section here will show what happens when the lights come on. And initially he seems to be a little bit bothered by them, but actually he has a good look at them, and I don't think it's really worried him that much. So I had some feedback from the first video, and some people said the most humane thing to do with a mouse would be to use a trap that killed them. I have to be honest, I have two little kids, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I quite enjoy showing them this footage and they like to see it. And I prefer this than to show them or risk them finding a trap with a dead mouse on it. So each their own, but I actually like seeing this little guy. Okay, so last night's experiment was quite successful. The little mouse was around and about and was quite happy with the lights, but didn't seem to be able to reach the seed on top of the pot. So I've made it a little easier by putting a little plywood block, and I've moved the lights down below so it illuminates the pot nicely. Okay, so I'm narrating again, and here's our little mouse. I like the fact that when I change things around, the mouse seems to like to have a good look around first, see what I've done and what's different from the previous evening. You can see here he's got a few Christmas cards, and I'll put a few baubles up, and he's even got a stocking. Look, there it is, see? It's empty though. Obviously I'm not sure if the mouse is being good or bad, so I don't know if he'll get any presents. I fear that he has been bad though. Okay, so this will be our first successful attempt. Has a good look around first, and when he's happy, gets a good reach up, and there he goes. Now in this case, it's quite an amusing one because he fills his cheeks full of seed, and it's a good job the Raspberry Pi camera doesn't have sound, because as soon as he jumps off, he drops half of it. I'm sure you'd hear him curse if it had a microphone. Stuffs it back in his mouth and off he goes. Now this last clip here makes me wonder if there is more than one, because this little guy, after a little look around, comes back and then will jump up. Come on, there you go. and he can get up there again. Fills his mouth full, like the last one did. I mean, it might be the same one, I don't know. This was later in the evening. Okay, he's filled his mouth and then he has a good look around. He seems to be quite afraid of how he's going to get down now. But eventually makes the jump. Okay, so we're now on to the last stage. This was obviously a different day. I'm getting a bit fed up with the mouse destroying certain things in the shed, so I am going to stop feeding him. And I toyed with the idea of using a Humane trap, but I didn't know how successful that would be, so I thought I'd give it a try. However, in this case the trap has got a bit of wood on top, which the mouse is just looking at, and that wood is stopping the trap activating. The question is, will the mouse go down the trap? Let's have a look. That's a good think about it. But yes, there he goes. So there you go, my friends, that is my Raspberry Pi mouse cam.